What is up, Team Happy and Fit? I hope you are doing well. I had the best day, and I want to share something with you before I kick it off to Turner. First and foremost, like, this crew rocks, and I am so grateful for this journey. I'm so grateful for this team, and reason being, people outside of this don't cheer for each other. I just made a post, and it was like, just cheer for your friend, even if you disagree with it, even if you wouldn't do it, even if you're not parenting the same way, even if you wouldn't quit your job and take that leap, just cheer for her. Like, what is the worst that would happen by you just cheering for them? We're either worried about our people in our life getting hurt. Well, guess what? That's inevitable. That's going to happen. But haven't we learned from our best lessons during the hard times? But like, can we just cheer for that mom instead of just give her opinions? Can we just cheer for that person who's starting their business and say, hey, you rock, sister? Even if that's not the choice that you would make, because I see people doing things that I wouldn't choose to do, but that doesn't change how I live my life. But then there are people where it's like, that is, maybe they have nothing else to look forward to in life, and so they feel like they have to like breed doubt. I don't know. I just appreciate this community is all I'm saying, is because I feel like we have the type of tribe that's just like, just go for it. You can do anything. Yeah, go for that. That's scary. You've got this. And I think that there's major power in this, because I can just tell you this journey is not just fitness, and it's not just nutrition, and it's not just a compensation plan. It is something so much more. You're developing skills. You're dreaming bigger. You're surrounding yourself with bigger thinkers, action takers, people who want to invest in themselves and not make excuses or use reasons in their life of why they can't show up. And I think that I don't think we realize yet, because we haven't been in this long enough. We haven't even been in this a decade, right? To understand the compound effect of what that's going to do in situations in our life that things come up. Like, when big things happen, when little things happen, when an opportunity comes for you, I think you're going to trust yourself more, because you're developing these habits now. And I get it. You get off track, you course correct. But there are so many people who aren't even on a course to correct, right? Like, they're not even going anywhere. And so I just really appreciate that. I think it's killer that you guys are doing something. And if someone in your life is saying, oh, you're doing that, what are you doing? That has no impact on them, and it has no impact on you. So don't give them the voice in your head that they get to decide, right? Before Turner gets kicked off, this is a book. If you are looking for some inspiration, The Happiness Code is such a solid PD book. It's so good. I've read it, but the thing is, what I love about it is I highlight books. So I literally just picked it up, and you want to know what I highlighted a year ago? This, and I just wanted to read it. The most important, I don't even know, I just grabbed it. And then I opened it, and then I was like, this is what it said. The most important moment of your life is this one. The only moment that truly counts is the one you are living right now. Understanding your past experiences can help you move forward in life, and armed with the lessons. Ooh, that's good. Understanding your past experiences can help you to move forward in life. How many people use their past experiences as not a way to move forward? Not us, friend. Understanding your past experiences can help you to move forward in life, and armed with the lessons you have learned, you can be more confident in your choices, stronger in your decisions, and wiser about the path you are on. How good is that? If you are getting the happiness code, or you have the happiness code, that is page 47. Page 47. Armed with the lessons you have learned. Vital. There's a lot of people in life that are saying and telling us the reasons why they can't, and that's our reasons why we can, because we are giving ourselves more credit. For the people in your life that say they couldn't do what you do, they wouldn't be able to share their story and all the stuff on social media, I would say, girl, give yourself more credit. Your story matters. It's very important, and give yourself more credit. Oh, I couldn't do what you do. I can't even stick with a workout program. Girl, give yourself more credit. You can do anything, anything. Anyway, that's what I turned to. I am so excited. So Lizzy Turner came into my life. She's been coaching for 3.5 years. And I'm really excited for her to share her story. So sometimes, do you guys ever see where you like see someone new and they just like run out the gate and then it just ends up like defeating you because you're like, what am I missing? Right? Those stories are great, but I think I love hearing Trina's story, right? It took her 2 years or six. She didn't even realize she was getting paid for like 6 months. Um, I love hearing the stories that become so relatable, right? And that I feel like that's even my story of just figuring this out and not having, my sponsor coach there and just leaning in and deciding to Happy and Fit. I've been a coach for 5.5 years, and I think Happy and Fit is turning 3 or 4 on January 1st. So Happy and Fit just didn't happen. It's something I dreamed up, right? So Lizzy Turner joined alongside Liz Colburn, who I love. I sponsor Liz Colburn. She's my friend too. And what's really cool about Lizzy's story is that, well, she was going to share it, but I remember a time where I'm like, is she in this or is she not? I wasn't sure. Like, where is she? And I think the coolest part is, look, here she is. She's right on this call leading it. How rad is that? This girl decided to go for Diamond this year because why? She can. And she made it happen. It didn't just magically appear, right? She really worked for it. There was some letdown in that goal too on the way there of like, I'm going to miss this. No, you can do it, right? There's no deadline to this. Sometimes we put deadlines, and then if we feel like we missed a deadline, we feel like we can't ever keep up or it won't ever happen. That's a lie. That's not how this journey goes. This journey goes if you go. Does that make sense? So if you missed a deadline, you missed a goal, it's not over. It's just teaching you a lesson. It's arming you with such brilliance, being able to relate to people and connect with people. You're just on your way. Make your own pace instead of looking left to right. Lastly, there's this picture of Michael Phelps. Have you seen it? Where he's racing in a race and he's looking straight as he's swimming and his competitor is looking over. Michael Phelps ended up winning that race by like a little bit, and I wonder if that guy wouldn't have looked over into another lane if he would have won. If he just would have stayed in his own lane, focused on winning, not worrying about where anyone else is, just worrying about where he is, breathing, going, if he would have won. Either way, he still was in the race, right? But sometimes when we look left and right, we get so defeated because we're sizing each other up. That is what the conventional world has taught us, that we must be all on the same pace, right? Don't they tell you, get an education, go to school, get a degree, get married by the age of 23, have all your kids before 28. Otherwise, it's too late for you. And no one tells you that, oh my gosh, miscarriage happens, loss happens, I can't get pregnant, I don't find my spouse. I thought I found my spouse and it wasn't the right person, right? Like, the conventional world has us believe this whole scenario of length of like, get a dog and then have a family, like do all these things. How about you design it? How about you do you? You go at your own pace and you realize that you are on the path of growth because this is so much more than a goal. This is just living healthier and happier. And I'm so honored to do that with all of you. Turner, I'm stoked for you. I am proud of you. This is, I think, out of everyone's comfort zone to lead a call like this. This is just showing your perseverance. This is showing your growth. This is showing that you want this. This is showing that you have a voice and you have something to say. So I appreciate you reaching out saying, I have something to say and I want to say it. And I want to say it to the tribe because the tribe, they're my people and I want to help them because I champion other people. All right, sister, go ahead.
Okay, so if you know me in the slightest outside of like Beachbody or you've met me in person, you know that I like do not get nervous. I'm really awkward and just weird, but like I don't get nervous super easily unless it's around Trina Gray. And I am shaking right now. My heart feels like it's going to pound out of my chest. I had to call my best friend before this and be like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, this is not going to be good. There was a lot of fear coming into it, but I knew at the same time it's exactly what I needed to do. So if you're scared to do something like this, I encourage you, reach out. And if it's a Happy and Fit call, a Rise and Fit call, a Fit and Fearless call, it doesn't matter what it is, but just get out there, because you're going to get way more comfortable and you're going to be able to find your voice. And it's going to make it so much easier in the long run. And when you can see yourself as a leader, other people will start to see you as a leader too. So I just encourage you. I'm shaking. It's probably going to be pretty rocky at first, but we'll get into it. So for those of you that don't know me, I've been in this for about 3.5 years. In June, it will be my 4-year anniversary, actually the day after my boyfriend's birthday. We were doing long distance the first summer when I found Beachbody, and I went to Milwaukee for his birthday. And the very next day, I had given him his gift on the 4th, and everything was good and whatever. And then the 5th, I was like, hey, I think I'm going to do this Beachbody thing. And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, what are these words that are coming out of your mouth? Like, you just spent money on my birthday present. Like, where is this coming from? Like, I don't know what you're doing right now. And I was like, oh, it's okay. Like, I'll figure it out. And he's like, well, how much does it cost? And at this point, we had just started dating, like around like 4 or 5 months, like nothing super like serious yet, but like kind of serious. I was like, oh, it's $140. Oh, well, what do you get with that? At the time, it was a set of DVDs in Shakeology. There was no bod. There was no like all these completion packs. Like, it was literally a program and a bag of Shakeology. He's like, you do not have $140 to be spending. Like, where is this coming from? I was like, oh, I'm going to stick it on my credit card. Okay. First of all, best decision of my life. But like in the time, I was like, that is a 19-year-old decision. Like, or no, I was 18 at the time. That's an 18-year-old decision. Like, if I've ever seen one, like, it was brutal. So if people give you the hesitation and they really want this, like, they'll find a way. Just putting it out there. So I ordered it. A little backstory of like where I'm at now in life, so you can kind of maybe connect with me or see like if I'm your vibe before we get into this, is I'm a dog mom to Jet. We got him 2 years ago. He's a Black Lab Golden Retriever mix. We adopted him. I'm a girlfriend to Nate still. We've been together for almost 4 years. I just recently graduated from UW Oshkosh in May with a political science degree. I almost dropped out my junior year of college, and my grandma goes, can you just finish, please, and like get something? You literally pushed through like 3 years, and you got 1 more left. Like, just pick something. I'm like, okay, fine. So I finished it, and I actually work at a credit union now. So totally unrelated and definitely not where I saw myself going in life. But in the grand scheme of things, I knew I wanted more, and I knew that it didn't matter what corporate job I got after, because in the long run, this is what I want. And it took me probably 2.5 to 3 years to really realize that and be okay with that, because here I was, like Julianne was saying, like going through my education, getting a college degree, doing all the right things, but I felt so unfulfilled. And I saw all these people getting out of college and not loving their life. And I was like, I do not want to do that, which I think is why I backed off my junior year, is because I was like, what the heck? Like, why are all these people putting all this time and energy into something they don't love? Like, I don't understand that. So I finished the degree, did all the right things, came out of college. And honestly, the last 6 months has probably been some of the hardest months of my entire coaching journey. Just because for those of you that have gotten out of college and you know what it feels like, it is the weirdest feeling ever. You've been wishing away the last 4 years of your life. You're in this position of like, oh my God, I'm finally done. Like, thank God I don't have to study anymore. I don't have to do any of these things that I had to do. Don't have any exams. Like, no one's expecting anything of me other than to just show up. But at the same time, I'm so used to being a student. I'm so used to surrounding myself and having all these expectations on me, and learning how to adapt my lifestyle around school and homework and all this stuff. And now it's not there. So it was like this weird, I had more time, but I didn't know how to fill it. And I was like trying to find this balance, which I'll talk more on later. But really, it's been hard. And then pushing for Diamond in the midst of it, I was like, am I crazy? Like, I literally don't know what I'm doing in my life. And here I am trying to hit this goal that I've been trying to hit for 2 years and have missed and missed and missed, which again, I'll touch on later. But I am the proud founder of Team Fierce and Fit. Lauren is one of my coaches, is on here tonight with us. I don't know if anybody else was able to hop on, but We are a small and mighty team. We through qual, it was a trip. Qual is always a trip, but it grows you. You get to meet some of your best friends, and the people that get you through qual, you have this bond with, and you're just like, you're my people. Thanks for pushing with me. On to the next. And sometimes that can scare people because they're like, holy crap, we just pushed through this and now you want more? Like, what is wrong with you? But if you're going to let those people hold you back, or if you're going to let the people that are like, we just got through one, can we take a breath and like whatever and stop and slow down and pump the brakes? Those aren't the people you want to surround yourself with. And my girls have not been that way, but I know that there's people that I've surrounded myself with previously that did feel that way. And that's where that lack of momentum comes from. Keisha Fitzgerald, I was listening to her podcast this morning on the way to work, and she says, I'm like a 15-year-old driving up a hill in the middle of a big city in a stick shift car that doesn't know what they're doing. And that's what that's like when you hit a goal and you let off the gas. You're honestly like, okay, like this is not good. I cannot get back on track, because you literally have just now gotten to your goal and thought that was it. And I'll touch more on how that felt to get to that goal and that process, but it was not what I was expecting. And I want you to know that pushing for goals is definitely something you want to do. But I want you to be able to maybe after this call, think of them in a different way, because the way I looked at it was not serving me. So that's kind of my backstory and kind of a little like taste of what's going to be coming at you in the next hour. So who I was before Beachbody. So I don't know if you kind of could figure out that timeline or not, but I found Beachbody the summer after my freshman year of college. I was 18 years old. I was about to turn 19. I was a freaking baby. I didn't know what the heck I was doing in life. I was like, I thought I knew everything because I was 18. And then now that I'm like out of college and realized I had no clue what the hell I was doing, I'm like, okay, cool. Glad I found it when I did, because Lord knows what my life would have looked like otherwise. I honestly just had a lot of hate for my body, for myself. I really showed that in my actions and what I did. I was miserable. I would wake up, go to class, come home, sit on my futon, watch 3 episodes of How I Met Your Mother, eat some ice cream pie, take a nap till dinner. My friends would come in and be like, hey, we're going to go to dinner. You want to come with? And I'd be a bitch back to them, excuse my language, just because I was like, don't wake me up. Like, I'm so unfulfilled in life. I have nothing to look forward to. All I have to look forward to is Netflix and ice cream pie. Wow, that's satisfying. And I was honestly, by the time freshman year was over, I was just so desperate. I don't even know how Nate and I started dating in that process, because I was a train wreck. Like, it was not a good situation. And I got to the end. I was 25 pounds heavier from my freshman year. So everybody that's like, oh yeah, freshman 15, try adding 10 more pounds onto that, on top of the self-loathing and everything else that was already going on. And it was honestly brutal. I had had a history before even college started of not fueling my body properly, not taking care of myself, ending up in the hospital, things like that, just because of the way I was treating my body. And I knew I had 2 options. You can do what you did before and literally have everybody in your life terrified and scared and hide who you really are, again, for the 3rd summer in a row, or you can do something different. Something different to me looked like me going to Gold's Gym in Madison and walking in and almost paying $100 a month for a gym membership. Did I have $100 a month for a gym membership? Hell no! I didn't even have $140 for a program and all this stuff 2 months later. Like, no, I did not have $100 a month, but all my friends were doing it. So I was like, well, if they got a gym membership, I could get a gym membership. Mind you, 3 months prior over winter break, I got a gym membership for like a seasonal one and went once. One time over all of winter break. I paid money for this thing. My friend and I were like, yeah, we're going to do this. We went once. Life got in the way. I didn't want to go to the gym. I lived 30 minutes away from it. Why would I have driven 30 minutes one way to get to the gym? Not going to happen. I was busy. I was working as much as I could over winter break. It literally was not going to happen. So I went into work, and I was working at a bank at the time. And my coworker goes, you should try 21 Day Fix. It changed my life. And I'm like, oh, okay. what is this 21 day fix? She's like, you eat out of these weird containers that are different colors and you do these workouts that are really short. I'm like, sure you do. Okay. And then I like looked into it a little bit, like stalked it on like the slow days. And I reached out to my friend Liz, which when I say friend, like you need to know that Liz babysat me when she was like 16 years old and in high school. Like I remember her 16th birthday, me sitting there and her opening presents at her party. Like I was like 7. Like I did not ever think of her as someone like this. And I was like, hey, do you sell 21 Day Fix by chance? And she goes, hey girl, so good to talk to you after all these years. And I'm like, oh great, here we go. She wants to know my life story. We haven't talked in years. Like, why? I just want to know if you sell 21 Day Fix. That's all I care about right now. We ended up talking. She's like, yeah, you should really try this thing called Shakeology. And I'm like, yeah, shakes aren't my thing. My mom, she's like, oh, weird. What's your experience with them? I said, my mom drank Slim Fast shakes growing up, and they are disgusting. And she's like, oh, girl, not the same thing. This isn't actually a weight loss shake. And then like tried to tell me like, it's a superfood shake, not a weight loss shake. And like all the things we try to tell people. And I was not having it. And she's like, I promise you it's the best value. Like you can always return it, 30-day money back guarantee. So fast forward to like me going home for Nate's birthday, like I was talking about earlier. And Nate goes, well, how are you going to pay for this? I said, I'm going to stick it on my credit card. Don't worry. It's fine. Like, it'll be quiet. It's fine. Whatever. I'm like, honey, they got a 30-day money back guarantee. I'm going to play this system. I was like, perfect. I'll order it. I'm either going to get results or not. If I get results, I'll be like, hey, sorry, Beachbody, didn't get results. Here's this. Can I have my money back? Because I will have achieved my goal. Or I'm not going to get results and oops, failed again. Can I get my money back? So I literally went into this with a credit card charge and planning on getting all of my money back. 3.5 years later, I'm on this call with you. Nothing got sent back. So that's my story. If that doesn't make you realize that, like, if you didn't want to send your stuff back right away, or if you did, like, girl, I feel you. I hated Shakeology at first. I thought it was disgusting. Guess why? You can't mix it with water. Don't do it. It's not a good situation. If you can mix it with water, bless your heart, not one of those people. I didn't see myself as a leader at all. I didn't see the value in the products clearly. And spoiler alert, did not finish a program until 2.5 years into my journey. A year ago, I finished a program. A year ago, I literally was in this 2.5 years before I was like, yeah, I should probably actually do this because people are never going to take me seriously unless I do this the right way. So I was not like your poster child coach. Like I didn't like fitness. I hated the products. Like I did not see the value in any of this. But I'm still here. So if you have anybody in your downline or if you felt this way, like just know all's good. Like you're fine. You'll figure it out and all will be well. Like it's so funny. I used to be like, I'm never going to order anything more than I need. I have a whole cupboard in my kitchen now dedicated to Beachbody. We get a box and Nate's like, why are you ordering things? Like, I don't understand what else you could need. The whole cupboard's full. I'm like, oh, I just ran out of collagen. I just ran out of digestive boost. And, oh, the peppermint mocha came out. And I had to have it, obviously. So, like, things have definitely changed a lot. But I need you to know that I think the reason I didn't see the value in things and I didn't, like, ever stick with anything at the beginning, one, totally my mindset. But what really kind of messed with my mindset more is that when I looked around the team as an 18, 19-year-old, I didn't see anybody I could relate to. This team at the 3.5 years ago, 2 years ago, whatever, was a lot of like late 20s, early 30s, people with like kids and they were moms and people with babies and like these people that had their lives together. And here I was, a girl in college that I'm going to be honest, went out occasionally on the weekends. not as much as I did my freshman year, but still went out and like was trying to navigate this whole end of teens, early 20 phase. That's just like so weird. Like we are just weird. Like late teens, early 20s is the weirdest transition of your life. People are getting married, having babies. People are out partying still. Like what is going on with this like 5-year gap? Like I don't even know what's happening. So for me though, I was like, crap. Like I am around all these really mature people that have their shit together. And here I am trying to just get through college and do the thing I'm supposed to do and get the education and climb my way up this corporate ladder that I have no idea how I'm going to do this. Someone told me I wasn't even going to get into college, and now here I am. Like, crap, now I got to actually do this because I was trying to prove people wrong, and here I am. And so I just sat there and I dwelled on the fact of how I could not relate to the people on the team. And that did not serve me. Instead, and when Julianne asked me yesterday, what clicked? Like, what got you to stay? Like, what made you realize that this could work for you? Instead of comparing and saying, I'm not a mom, I don't have babies, I don't feel like I have my life together, it made me realize that one day when I am a mom, and one day when I do have babies, and one day when I do have my life more together, that this can work for me just as much, if not more, as it is right now. And then when I started seeing people like Trina Gray with teenagers and working through that, I'm like, wait a second. This is something that as a 19-year-old who gained 25 pounds her freshman year of college can work for me, and also the mom, and also the grandmas, and also all of these people in all these seasons of life. And it clicked like, this is the one thing you've tried that will take you through multiple seasons. A detox that you ordered from some weird Instagram post on someone's thing, like, not gonna take you through seasons. Not gonna happen. Those Slim Fast shakes my mom was drinking that tasted like butt, nope, not going there, not happening. Like, I don't want to, that's not sustainable. I don't want to live my life for 30 years drinking Slim Fast shakes every morning. Nope, can't. The thought of it makes me actually want to throw up. It's so gross. So basically, I started just like kind of dissecting my own beliefs and thoughts about this business and this team. I started removing the guilt around not finishing a program, not drinking Shakeology all the time, cheating, not following my meal plan. I realized that work-life-school balance is a load of crap. That's not a thing. Life is never perfectly balanced, ever. There's always going to be one area of your life that's demanding more attention. And when I was in school, that was more apparent than ever. Sometimes I had to show up as a student harder than I was showing up as a coach, and that's okay because I didn't quit. Sometimes I had to show up as a girlfriend because I had been neglecting our relationship, because I had been being pulled in too many other directions, and that's okay because I didn't quit. It made me realize that this whole like, oh, life needs to be perfectly balanced and everything needs to be like equally your attention and love and whatever wasn't going to work for me. And this expectation that it had to work for me was what was holding me back. The minute I let that off my shoulders and realized I don't have to have my life together, I can show people on social media that I'm a hot mess express, that I'm just a 20-something trying to figure it out. It got way more fun. I started attracting people like me, and I actually started enjoying the process. I'm going to be honest. In the beginning, when I was posting how everybody else on the team was posting and posting like all the moms on the team were posting, who was I attracting? Moms. Does that relate to me? No. When you tell me that you were up all night with your baby, I can't relate to that. I'm sorry. Like, I just can't. I love you. I love that that's your story in your life, but I'm not the perfect person to help you, because you know what I was doing last night? I had a wine night with a couple girlfriends and we were up a little later than we should have been. Can't really relate. Like, that's just my story. And I've just learned to own it because the 20-somethings need this just as much as the moms do, need this just as much as the grandmas do. So if I'm posting like them, who the heck is helping the 20-somethings? Because Lord knows they need it. I just told you, those 5 years are a shit show. They need it so bad. But if no one's showing up for them, they don't think that they need this. They don't think that it's possible to want more. They're assuming that, and I see this all the time still, people think this is normal. People think it's normal to go out Thursday and Friday night and hate your liver. That is what people think is normal. Why does that have to be the normal? Why is that what we've agreed on as a society, that that's okay? So my whole journey has been, I like to have fun, but I also like to kind of have my life together in like moderation, both ways. So I really just stopped closeting my real life and started showing who I was. I started addressing like what I was actually going through, the fact that I had never completed a program, and I publicly put it out there. The first 2 things that stuck in my life, 2B mindset, I got killer results. Why? Because I stuck to it. Doesn't matter what you're doing, just stick to it. Transform 20 was the first program I ever completed. We went to Colorado in January for a week. I took it with me. I did it in the hotels, and Nate was like, are you really gonna do that on this vacation? Like, we are here for a week. Like, can you take a break? I'm like, no, because I know that if I take a break, I'm gonna let off the gas and I'm not gonna finish it. I missed days. Of course I did. I wasn't perfect. That wasn't the point. The point was actually finishing something I started. And then, like I said, that was maybe a little over a year ago that I finished that. And now I'm doing Morning Meltdown, and it's definitely taken me more than 100 days, but it's fine. It's 100 workouts, not 100 days. So it definitely, like I said, clearly I was a mess. I still kind of am. I'm still a 20-something that's just trying to figure it out. Friends are like, oh, how's graduated life? Well, considering I have no clue what I'm doing right now, I'm just trying to go with each day. Like, I'm fine, I guess. Yes. I'm just trying to embrace it because it's a journey and it's a mess, and here we are. But I have the community and the tribe. And like I said, I would never want to know what my journey and story would look like without this. It would not be pretty. But you're probably wondering, like, okay, like, cool, like, you were a mess, but now, like, you feel like you're not. Like, what changed? What happened in between? So this last summit was my 3rd summit. My very first summit was in New Orleans. Let me tell you the story. It's a really good one. You'll really like it. So my best friend in the whole wide world, the coach that made me Emerald, canceled 2 weeks before we were about to fly out. We were flying in a day early to stay with her sister because she lived in New Orleans at the time. So she canceled and was like, hey, you can still stay with my sister if you want. Mind you, I've never met her in my entire life. Not just going to show up to some rando's house in a different state. Be like, hey, I'm your sister's friend. Like, can I sleep on your couch? Like, that's freaking weird. No. So I ended up, couldn't change my flight because 2 weeks before it was not going to happen. So I flew alone for the first time ever. And not only did I fly alone, I flew from Milwaukee to Atlanta with this lovely family. It was like a mom and her 2 daughters. It was the cutest thing ever. They were so cute. Got to Atlanta. Airport's freaking huge. Anxiety kicks in. I'm like, I gotta take some more Dramamine. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Like, this is not, the other stuff's out of my system. Like, this is bad. So I quickly take some, and I'm like getting to my next flight, and I hop on the plane, and I'm like, God, I really just need to like close my eyes. I'm like really stressed. Just calm down. I'm sitting in the window seat. There are 2 strangers next to me. The guy next to me falls asleep like right away. I'm like, give me whatever you had. I need some of that. Like, I don't know. So I go to close my eyes, and I have my boyfriend's sweatshirt over my eyes. And all of a sudden, I sit up. I go, this is not good. I open my sweatshirt up, and I puke all down my sleeve. Best part is, this is 10 minutes into my hour-and-a-half long flight. So here I am for an hour and 20 minutes, zipping up, making it seem like I didn't just puke on myself, and I sit in it for an hour and 20 minutes. The flight attendant escorts everybody off the plane at the end. Like, everything was fine, whatever. The guy next to me was still sleeping. That's the best part. Still sleeping. I was like, I can't go in front of him and like try to bed to the bathroom. Everybody would see me. So the flight attendant comes up to me and goes, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Just give me a second." So I go into the airport bathroom and literally start stripping in a stall and like trying to clean myself with like those really thin paper towels. Not good. Not good. Okay. So then we get there and I end up sleeping on a hardwood floor in Julianne and Eric's Airbnb because it was that or the airport. I met them at the airport for the very first time ever in real life. Had never met them. It's like, great, meeting complete strangers that I've met online and I don't know them. Took an Uber to like kind of a weird area of New Orleans. Like, it was kind of not the greatest, I'm going to be honest. And I slept on the hardwood floor. I'm going to be honest. I was just so grateful that I had somewhere to go and I wasn't sleeping in a New Orleans airport by myself for the first time flying ever. Like, terrifying, okay? Then the next morning, I get dropped off in the French Quarter and I'm getting breakfast with some other coaches on the team. And I'm carrying my luggage around the French Quarter. Have you ever been? A lot of people, not a good situation. Dragging luggage, not fun. Then we end up, I'm trying to like speed this up. Then we end up at a hotel in the like not good area of New Orleans. The Uber driver said, "You're going to get shot if you stay here. You cannot stay here." It's like, oh, cool, great. So then we go to our other hotel that we accidentally booked 2 different hotels because we didn't realize what we were doing, which was 30 minutes outside of where the convention center was. We spent more in Ubers that summit than we did our summit ticket because we didn't know what we were doing. If that doesn't show you that should not have been, like, I should not have been able to come back and been like, I'm ready to do this coaching thing. Like, you guys, I was nuts. Would anybody in their right mind come back and be ready to go? Like, no. It was not great. But in the moment, like I said, like, I just chose to be grateful. Like, I had a floor to sleep on. I didn't have to sleep in an airport. I was with some of the most supportive people ever. We joked about the fact that I puked on myself. Luckily, Kim Meyer's Airbnb had a washing machine. Like, it was fine. It was good. I met one of my best friends in business in the entire world at Summit. And we always say that if my best friend that canceled on me 2 weeks before this trip would have been, we would have never gotten close. We would have never gotten to know each other. And to this day, she would have never been one of the people supporting me the most. And that's Amanda Hoig. There's no way that if my coach that canceled came, I would have been able to direct my attention on somebody else because that person would have required so much attention. So it was a blessing that all of this happened. It made me grow. It built resiliency in me. It was hell. Not even going to downplay it. It was not enjoyable, but I chose to find what I was grateful for in the moment. And honestly, being real and living through my real emotions is what's led me to be able to build my team. I don't sugarcoat anything because I'm going to give people the real me because I deserve to show up as the real me. I craved connection with people in my season of life, in their crazy 20-somethings, that just wanted more, that weren't going to get out of college after investing all this time and money and be unhappy. That's all I wanted. And nobody had modeled that for me, really, because like I said, a bunch of moms, they had it figured out. I couldn't relate to them, I didn't think. But what it showed me was, okay, if it's not out there, you put it out there. If what you need isn't out there, put it out there. Someone needs it. If you don't relate to anybody's stories, which I find it hard to believe because there's a lot of us now, but if you don't relate to any of our stories, put it into the universe. Somebody else needs it. How would you feel? Just imagine this. An 18-year-old who eats ice cream pie, watches Netflix, and drinks way too much wine freshman year slides into your DMs after seeing you at a party and is all like, hi, I'm Liz. I'm a coach. And I like love self-love and changing my life. And I surround myself with all these amazing positive women. The way I approached it was so bad. I was talking like I was a mom of 3, had my life completely together. And like, you did not just see me at that party on Scott Street, like, 2 days ago. It wasn't matching up. I needed to show up how I really was. No one was taking me seriously. If your friends don't recognize you, to an extent. If you're on your stories and your friends are like, why are you doing a weird voice? Or why are you sharing that stuff? You never talk about that in real life. Gut check. If you're posting about something that's not actually you, people can see right through that. Just be you. That's all people need from you, is just to be you. And then the next thing is, how do you make people feel? Do you make it seem like your life is really together? Because that's what I did in the beginning. I made it seem like I was perfect. I did not struggle. I was always got my stuff done. My Shakeology, in full disclosure, this is so embarrassing. In the beginning, I'd literally post a shaker cup next to my face like this. Shakeology, greatest meal of the day. 5 minutes later, dumped it down the sink. Because I didn't like it. I was literally faking drinking Shakeology because everybody else loves Shakeology, so I must just have something wrong with me. Are you kidding me? When my friends are like, oh, that was weird. You drank your shake pretty fast, huh? And I was like, yeah, so good. I just sucked it right down. Like, no, the sink ate it, honestly. It was just, you guys, just be you. I don't know what else to say during this like entire conversation. I have more, but that basically the biggest part is just be you. Be authentic. Share your struggles. Share your hardships. Share your wins. Share what makes you weird. I am basic as hell. I like Starbucks, my Ugg boots, and my yoga pants more than anything else in this world. I like my dog, the Target dollar section. Like, that's who I am. And I own it. And I'm fine with it. I like a good mimosa on a Sunday. Like, here we are. It's fine. Like, I've learned, though, that I can be who I want to be, and I can be the person that I am, and people can take it or leave it. I don't need to show up for anybody else other than myself. And the girl that needs to hear my story, and the girl that needs to hear my voice, and my struggles, and the fact that I've made it through, and that if I can do it, she can too. That all rhymed, and I'm really proud of that. Sorry, it's really random. And I never, obviously, beginning was not pretty. We already talked about that, but I never gave up. And it's so funny because as I was typing up my notes for this, I was like, I literally sound like I just took Trina Gray and Julianne's like one-liners and just like put them in my notes, because that's what got me through. Here it is. I never guaranteed my failure by quitting. Until I found this, I was your cliche procrastinator, late assignments, never turned anything in, never followed through on anything, because if I didn't finish it, it couldn't be judged and failed. But if I did finish it, if I did try, I could have failed. It makes sense to a point. However, thinking about it now in my growth mindset, if you don't try, like there's literally nothing. There's zero. You get a 0. I don't know. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. But in the time, it made all the sense. If you don't try, if you don't put it out there, you can't fail. Not true. If you don't put it out there and you don't try, the only person you're failing is yourself. Nobody else cares. Within reason. Again, we all love you and like we care, but like at the end of the day, if you don't put it out there, the only person you're letting down is yourself. It took me longer, obviously, to get to where I am. Some people go diamond in a month, 3 months, like weeks. I don't know, like quick. Took me 3 years. And I'm going to be honest, and I think one of the things where when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to say, this is the biggest thing I wanted to say. If your goals are what you're striving for and you are putting all of your energy into that end result, pump the brakes and just look around. Because the journey you're on to get there is what's going to make it worth it. When I hit Diamond, some of you don't know this. When I hit Diamond, I was in Indy at the Diamond soiree, walked out in tears, bawling. Why? It didn't feel as good as I thought it would. Why? Because I built it up to be this great big thing on this pedestal that I could never attain. And hitting it, I was like, oh, I finally did it. I'm at the table. I'm there. I'm doing what I need to do. And I hit it. And yes, it feels great to be surrounded by leaders. But you know what feels even better? Seeing yourself as a freaking leader regardless. I bawled because I sat there for the last 3-4 months having my team work their butts off. And I felt so unfulfilled at the end of it because I had my mindset all on the wrong thing. It's not about the end result. It's about the journey. It's about the process. It's about who you become in the process. My girls worked so hard, and it took realizing that I should have been excited and celebrating the fact that I have these women around me that are pushing towards this goal with me. And that's what makes Diamond great. That's what makes hitting goals great. That you have people in your corner. The rank is just a rank. It's great to level up in life and be surrounded with people that are leveling up as well. But just get people in your corner and it'll make things so much more fun. Make it less about you and more about them, more about their growth. Julianne's been saying that for years about how she cares more about this team because she knows by investing in this team, she'll level up. There's a reason for that. The leaders that are only focusing on what they can do for me do not last as long. And I've seen it. And it was a huge gut check in Indy walking out and being disappointed in myself because I promised myself I would never do that. And there I was, realizing the thing I said I would never do, I did. And it made me realize that this journey, this 3.5 years to get me to where I am, has been more about connections, listening more than speaking, seeing what people need from me, serving others, because that's what makes this fun. That's what makes this actually fulfilling. Getting a message saying, you changed my life. Getting the message saying, I haven't drank Shakeology in 3 months and I feel like crap and I can't wait to order my next bag. Feels so much better than seeing your back office hit a rank. Because you know what could happen next week? Someone could go inactive. You could lose your rank. And if it's only wrapped up in your rank, you're never going to be satisfied. You have to put your energy in the process and not focus on what's at the end. Because like I said at the beginning, if you're only focusing on what's at the end, when you get there, then what? Then you set another goal and it's this awkward, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure it out. This is weird. Okay, I don't know what just enjoy the process. Just invest your time and energy into what fills your heart and your cup up. And I promise you, if you do that, you will be here later when you figure that out. Because in the beginning, like I said, not pretty. But by learning that it was in the journey all along, you know, the things that all these leaders tell us and like you hear a million times, it literally took me feeling defeated to get there and to realize it and to have it click. So don't let yourself get to that point, and take what we're saying and what other leaders on the team are saying and just enjoy the process, enjoy the journey, connect with people. That's what makes this amazing, and that's what makes this fun. Be real, be authentic, be you. That's all you need to do in this world. That's all you need to show up as is yourself. Because somebody needs to hear your story. That's all I have.
Turner, I was like, yes, like fist pumping the air. You are amazing. I have so many notes. A couple of questions in a second. If you have questions, go ahead and put it in. Becca, I saw yours, and I'll ask it in a second. I wish I had this at 18. I really do, because I just feel like it's, and first of all, are there any moms who have it together on here? Turner, we're going to burst your bubble here. like when none of us have it together. We're all just, and that's also another thing that I love in this too is, Trina Gray, my mentor and friend, is 13 years older than me, but you would never know it because we just live life dreaming big and living fit. And I feel like that's what makes this different as well, is I feel like when you're in the conventional world, it's like people care so much about credentials, your experience, and like whatever. But what I love is that Turner might be like age younger than a lot of us on here, but I think what's really rad is her courage and confidence and delivery, and just her presence of sharing and growing this team tonight. And isn't that so cool that we don't discriminate here or tell people they're not qualified. It's just that if we're willing to share our story, because this is our first time at life, and I just want to honor that. Like, I think that that's really awesome of you, especially that maybe there are a lot of people your age that are massively unfulfilled, and they're not leading a crew of people believing in them and sharing and showing how they can live their best life. Like, that is really amazing. And thanks for your transparency. I think what I love the most about it is that you stopped trying to be like everybody else and you started to be yourself. You started to tell the truth, because sometimes we try to hide behind things and make it seem like a lot easier, right? Like, oh, I loved Shakeology right away, but the fact that you were like, actually, I didn't. And then maybe someone who had once been with you before didn't like it either, but they're willing to give it another shot because you gave it another shot. Or someone who wants to go to a live event and didn't work out the way that they wanted, and you didn't quit, because most people quit when it gets tough. And that's why people stay where they are. Like, that's why, right? They never attempt the hard, or when they are, they turn around. Okay, questions for you. You're just amazing. I just love this. Is what made you like Shakeology? Like, so you were dumping it down the sink, and I could see Erica being like, no, like Erica's like,
I know. Saying that now, I'm like,
what
what was I doing? Like, no wonder I had no money. I was dumping it literally down the drain. Like, well, the money I was spending was literally going down the drain. No, I'm going to be honest. Like, I just stopped. I put my blinders on. The Shakeology I make every morning, and some are going to be like, oh my God. I put orange juice in it. I drink tropical strawberry with frozen fruit, orange juice, and water.
Yeah.
And if you ask people, like, I think Autumn Calabrese in Ultimate Portion Fix is like, don't drink juice, it's all sugar, blah. I still got results. I channeled my inner Tubi mindset of track it and see. I just found what worked for me.
Yeah.
I don't drink Shakeology as a weight loss thing. I drink it as my multivitamin. Doesn't matter how I'm getting it in, I'm getting it in. So
yeah,
I just put my blinders on and did what worked for me.
Yeah. I think what's crazy too is like strawberry or tropical strawberry is not my favorite, except for when I was pregnant. Like, that's all I wanted, is I wanted the tropical strawberry, and then now I don't have it anymore. Like, now I just want the cafe latte and peppermint mocha. Oh my goodness, that, like, we literally got it and I was like, we need to order another box. Like, we had already had 2 or 3, and I was like, we need to get another one. Like, this is so good. Thanks for your transparency in that. And I think we have this idea that everything has to be perfect. I'm telling you this, people want to be surrounded by people who don't have it all together but are going somewhere. Where it's like, I'm not sure, but I'm going to figure it out. I haven't quite finished this yet, but I'm going to, right? Like, people follow along the journey as long as you're going. And if you want to be taken seriously, you've got to be consistent. So take a look at your lifestyle, take a look into your business. Where are you lacking consistency? Are you having consistency with Shakeology? Awesome. Definitely talk about why you love it. Are you having consistency with a program? Great. And then you're saying, why is this not growing? How's your consistency with inviting? I remember Caitlin saying, if you kind of try, you kind of get results, right? If you kind of sort of try. And if you're inviting 5 people a week, then you're not going to see the movement like you'd want. So where are you lacking consistency in your business? Because just expanding your network and just posting on social media is not going to grow your business if that's what you want to do. So take a look around and then celebrate where you are being consistent. I would have to say, what I love so much about our team is that we celebrate consistency. Don't you think that on our team is that we are here for the lifestyle? We're not here to be perfect. Pretty rad. What is your favorite personal development right now?
Okay, so right now I'm reading Limitless. I literally read 50 pages on the ride or like the flight home, and I've read 10 since being home in a week. So it's been brutal, I'm gonna be honest. Like I said before, like it's really weird. I have more time, but I have to like re-narrow in on like how to use that time because like I'm not doing homework every night, so I don't have to be like as disciplined. So I have to like fake the discipline in my life because I have the time. I just am not using it. So I'm reading. I try to read before bed. I started implementing gratitude, which I'm going to count as personal development because I never used to do it. And I just felt like I was in a rat race constantly. Also, I am obsessed with Empower Her podcast by Keisha Fitzgerald. So real, so raw. She's a 20-something-year-old just trying to figure it out. She literally says in her intro that like, I'm just trying to figure it out and I don't know all the answers, but I'm going to share with you what I learn as I go along the way. So those are probably my favorite things personal development wise. Yes, I was a Greenberry fan. And that was another thing is like, I like stopped doing it. If everybody else was doing it, I don't have this obligation to do it. Like I actually stopped drinking caffeine a year ago because of my body. Like I needed to, like it was not healthy. I was drinking too much. I was really sick all the time. Like it was not good. I don't drink Energize. Like, and I know that shocks. I know that shocks so many of you, but like, I don't. I still talk about it. Like, if people are like, "Oh, I struggle with like energy or motivation or whatever," I'm like, "Girl, you gotta try this." Like, I loved it before I stopped drinking caffeine, but like, I just needed to do what was best for me.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is like do what's best for you, and own your story. Turner, you are phenomenal. We are so grateful for you. You did a fabulous job.